Hello folks, and we're back again with another quick playthrough. This time we're going to be playing 1987 Predator on the NES, which is apparently the first game that was released based on the Predator franchise. Not sure if any Aliens games predated this. There was of course the pretty big Alien trilogy. That was a good one. That's probably one I should actually go back and revisit for the channel. And the game kind of starts pretty well here with the little kind of bitmap images of both Arnie and the Predator itself. And I'm afraid to say it kind of swiftly goes a bit downhill from there. Now, I think I'd paused this when I was recording briefly to just maybe send a message on Steam or something, but we're back resuming. And you can see the Predator spaceship there launching the Predator in his little rocket ship or whatever to presumably planet Earth. I think that's where Predator was set, sure it was. So there was multiple versions of this game. I started with this little kind of storyboard sequence. Gives you the little setup for the plot of Predator if you weren't aware with it. There's a NES version and an MSX version that were made by different developers, although I think the NES version, according to Wikipedia, borrows much of its graphics and sound from the MSX version. So it starts off pretty strongly. This game certainly looks the part to start with, but it kind of falls apart from the first stage there. There's actually two modes to this game, but we'll get into the second mode later on. And it starts out not very much of a tie-in with the actual Predator film, because I don't remember any point with any moving alien rocks. Well, you are very quickly able to pick up a submachine gun there, so there is at least a bit of a weapon upgrade. You can see the MC gun there. Level 4 apparently, that must be a machine gun, and pick up some grenades here. Again, don't remember too many moments with grenades in the Predator film. Is there not a point where he smothers a grenade or something to stop someone getting killed? Maybe that's a different, maybe that's Saving Private Ryan I'm thinking of. And I actually died there, I'm not too sure how. I wasn't aware that I'd picked up a submachine gun from the top there, but I realised on my second life that that was actually a little pickup you could get. It does specify in the Wikipedia page that you start unarmed and have to pick up your weapons to start with. Again, I don't remember any section in the Predator film where Arnold has to grenade down a rocky outcrop to get past it. So the tie-in at best fairly loose. Once we get past the initial title stage, you'll find that you can pretty much drop an unlimited kind of string of grenades there. Apparently the game was negatively reviewed by critics due to several flaws with the graphics. Dutch wearing a pink outfit instead of blue like in the MSX version. I have to say I didn't really notice when I was playing through this the garish pink uniform that Dutch or Arnie starts out wearing. And it seems really difficult to try and blow away through these walls here. I also don't remember any human enemies in Terminator. The whole idea was that it was a bunch of humans against the alien, so again, a very contentious tie to the game here. Finally I'm able to throw the grenades over and break the rocks from the other side, but still struggling to find a path to get through, all the while this soldier whittles my life down to almost nothing. And I think at this point I'm just going to give up and decide that I can't really figure out how I'm meant to get past this rocky wall, and that the best strategy would probably be just to try and avoid it and jump over it. Because it seems no way to destroy enough for me to get out there. So, yep, apparently it received mixed but largely positive reviews across all the platforms, including across all the platforms, would include the MSX version. It was put on a special list in Germany, which made it illegal to sell or make the game available to minors, as well as making it illegal to advertise the game in any form. Which is a bit of a bullet they dodged with that one. So this NES version was developed by Pack-In Video, which is a strange name for a video game development company. The Wikipedia page is largely in Japanese. Apparently they were mainly focused on the Japanese market. So most of the games that these guys were responsible for seem to have stemmed. I don't really know much about the MSX, I have to be honest. The MSX is a standardized home computer. Basically just a home computer. I think most well known probably in the West for being the console or video game system where Hideo Kojima first released the Metal Gear games. So we get through stage 1, losing 2 lives, which is not ideal. I think there's something like 40 stages in this game. Although it does seem mercifully that most of them seem to be quite short. Just start out with the item to punch, so it's at least good that you can attack and you aren't just completely let down. So yeah, I've never actually played the MSX. I do know there are a few games. I think Ninja Gaiden's another one where the MSX version is considered superior compared to the other console versions. But again, I think it was only really released. Was it only released in Japan? The MSX. Popular in Japan and several other countries. 7 million sold in Japan alone, 3 million overseas. Few MSX-based machines were released in the United States. So yeah, that's a bit of a console that I have no experience with. But yeah, this pack-in video, they seem to have cut their teeth making MSX games. There seems to be a large amount of movie-style ports. We have Rambo on here, Labyrinth, Batman, Predator, Knight Rider, Thunderbirds, so a lot of licensed game tie-ins. Die Hard as well on that list. Apparently Minesweeper for the Game Boy, I didn't even know that they did a Game Boy version of that. Terminator 2 as well, the Famicom version, I think I played the NES version of that. I think at this point what setting was I toying with here? I think I turned off the achievements here, or at least the hardcore mode for the achievements, just so I could do rewinds, because at this point I was just getting a little bit kind of... The game was asking a lot of me with this little section. And again, I don't remember any part of any of the Predator or indeed Alien films where there's a aggressive vine shooting what looks to be some kind of spiky fireball type contraption. Try to see if there's any way to destroy it, but there's not, so you're just locked into kind of timing your jumps to try and get past these. Starting to use save states at this point to make up for the game's clumsiness. Also, one of the better parts about RetroArch is it has a rewind feature, so that if you take any damage without having to, constantly drop save states, you can just constantly rewind back a few seconds, and it came in handy with the somewhat floaty controls for this one. Pick up the laser item here, which seems to be quite damaging. It can at least shoot through blocks, make this section a little bit easier. But these fireball spewing plants, which seem to be not only damaging me, but homing in on me. So these things have it out of me. Again, these little red monsters kind of look like facehuggers, I suppose. But facehuggers were in the Alien games, not the Predator games. And thankfully, with the use of some save states and judicious rewinds, I'm able to make a bit of progress in this otherwise horrendously difficult section. Pick up the punch here, which replaces my laser, which seems like a strange choice for how things work, so I'm now kind of much more weak, which is not ideal when I'm trying to run past this little demon plant thing with only 1 health. So, Predator, of course, based on the 1987 film, directed by John McTiernan and written by Jim and John Thomas. Great film, Predator. It's one of these just good. I think it's not a long one. 107 minutes. I thought it was shorter than that, to be honest. But yeah, if you're not familiar with it, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and a ragtag group of Marines. They're making their way through the jungle in South America when a killer alien starts stalking them and methodically making a sporting game of trying to wear them down. It's also got Carol Weathers, Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura. It's a good movie. Predator 2, which there was another couple of games based on. I do remember there had been a Predator 2 game for the Sega Genesis. also known as the Mega Drive. Probably the worst film, if you ask me, but a decent enough sequel. Did enough different. And I actually don't realise when I'm trying to halt my way through here, but that is a life pickup that is right next to me. So I really should just beeline for that, and takes me up to full health, which actually makes this section somewhat manageable. Not sure about the red version of Slimer from Ghostbusters being an enemy in this game, but it seems okay. And that's us through to stage 4. There's of course been many Predator films in the franchise in the years since Predator 1 and 2. There's Predators, The Predator, Prey, and multiple crossover films with the Alien franchise, including Aliens vs Predator and Aliens vs Predator Requiem. Also, a lot of good games have come out of that franchise mix-up. There's of course the Alien vs Predator first-person shooter from probably now the early 2000s, in which there was 3 campaigns. Now, if I remember this properly, there was 3 campaigns: the Marine campaign, the Alien campaign, and the Predator campaign. And I specifically remember enjoying the Alien campaign because you started out as like the little snake thing, whatever you call it, and you evolved into a facehugger, and then you found a human, sleeping human, I think. Grabbed him, evolved, and became whatever the final stage is. The name escapes me at this point. Awkward sequence here. It's kind of difficult to jump up there and also avoid damage from the enemy, so I just took a hit, also dropping a grenade. And I think, did I reload the state there? Because I'm pretty low on health. Again, the architecture not very reminiscent of any Predator moment in the film that I can think of. These floating platforms, somewhat cumbersome. You always kind of felt like you were a way to fall through the floor when you landed on the ground. But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, probably one of his well, I wouldn't say most well-known films, not these days. One of his first films that he got, I mean, he made it big with Terminator, really, and that was, what, 1985? Tell you, it'll be a sad day when Big Arnie goes. He's what, 76 now? So certainly getting on, way too old to be in the films, but you know, I used to love the Arnold Schwarzenegger films when I was a kid. And I don't just mean the standard action, Commando, Predator, Terminator ones. I also loved Last Action Hero. Shout out to Jingle All the Way, which is an underrated Christmas classic. That looks like an enemy Predator, that thing sitting down there, but if it was, it didn't offer much resistance. And I don't think I was able to get through that door. Got the laser weapon here, but it doesn't really seem to be helping too much, and I'm down on very low health. But thankfully I don't think this Predator takes too many shots. Very strange form of attack. If that is even meant to be a Predator, the sprite kind of looks like it. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't return for the sequel, Predator 2. That turned out to be Danny Glover, who made his name in that one. Bill Paxman also is in that movie. After, I think, his motorbike accident, where he damaged his psyche. And Predator, it cost, had an $18 million budget, and it went on to make just shy of $100 million at the box office, so it was certainly a success. The sequel was a success as well, if you look at the numbers. Had a budget of $30 million, made $57 million at the box office, so it made money. But certainly I don't think it's well regarded. Predator 2, upon release, received generally negative reviews and earned a moderate box office return. So I mean, less successful than Predator 1, but that just kind of came out of nowhere. Predator 2 just kind of tried to repeat the formula and put it in a city rather than a jungle. Here was the extra game mode I'm talking about earlier, and this was kind of bizarre to just come about naturally while playing the game. Just switching to a suddenly kind of auto-scrolling, side-scrolling shooter with a very large Arnold Schwarzenegger sprite, it has to be said. Although I did enjoy the mix-up. Certainly this stage seemed easier than the standard side-scrolling one. And in my opinion, I mean, I only played through the first sort of 5 or 6 stages. But yeah, in my opinion, it would have made a good mix-up more often. Always like it when games throw in the multiple stages like that, and here we have the Predator who just kind of bizarrely floats invisibly through the air, which I suppose is on character for his abilities, but he doesn't really make any effort to damage us, and it turns out to be a fairly easy boss fight. The actual hardest part here is when his head splits into 4 pieces. Do I manage to get through here? They get the last shot off on him, and I guess that'll be the level ended. So that was stage 5. Didn't check how many stages this game had exactly, but I remember it sounding preposterous, the amount. Somewhere in the high 20s or 40s or so. So, again, weird floating blue rocks and strange army men just running at me without any kind of weapon, as if they've gone crazy. Very, very difficult to work out what the lore reasons are for your own friends attacking you in this. What a strange time it was when games like this, you know, franchise games based on films, you know, not to knock them, because I'm sure, you know, plenty of people worked hard on these, but a strange time when games like this just seem to be knocked out en masse. What a strange game. I mean, he really looks nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the actual character, the more I think about it. The side-scrolling auto-scroller one kind of did a good job, but it's just very weird. It's almost like they just kind of fit the Predator framework very loosely around a already present game. I have to say that the sprite work on the Predator there is fantastic. So yeah, that's been Predator for the NES, just the first few levels. It's a strange one, not much of a tie-in for the movies, but it was a fun little one to play through, so thanks for watching.